Yeah, shortly before 3 o'clock this morning, police and emergency services were called to two incidents. One here at the intersection of Pinewood Drive and Waverley Road, and a second incident at the corner of Viewmount Road and Waverley Road, some distance of a couple of kilometres away. At the scene here in Pinewood Drive, we have a deceased male, and we believe he's a taxi driver, or was a taxi driver. And the vehicle, a taxi, has collided with a light pole at the intersection of Viewmount Street and Waverley Road, where there's another deceased male.
How did the man that you believe is a taxi driver die?
He has upper body injuries.
Do you believe there was only one person involved?
At this stage, it's too early to say.
Has he been stabbed?
At this stage, I can't tell you. There's been no post-mortem conducted at this stage.
Has there been a weapon used?
At this stage, I can't tell you.
Did he live at this address, or was he picking up someone?
Those inquiries are still being made.
How old is he?
He'd be middle-aged, is all I'll say at this stage.
Do you know if the taxi was called to this address or whether it was driven to this address in this subsequent?
We're still working with the taxi directorate to establish those details.
It's going to take a while to identify the body.
It'll take some time, yes.
What can you tell us about the person who allegedly stole the vehicle? What would happen next?
All that I can say is that shortly after the taxi left the vicinity here, it collided with a light pole up at the intersection of Viewmount Road and burst into flames there.
Killing that man, incinerating that man?
Yes, the male deceased in that taxi.
Do you believe the person who crashed just up the road is responsible for the death here?
I'm sorry I didn't hear that.
Do you believe the person who crashed the taxi up the road is responsible for the murder here?
That's one of the considerations.
Do you know the identity of the person who allegedly stole the taxi?
At this stage, no.
Will that be hard to identify him because of the fire?
I can't say at this stage. I haven't been up to that scene and examined the body.
I imagine you've been out bright and early this morning speaking to people. Have there been any witnesses? Anyone seen anything so far?
So there have been some witnesses who've supplied some details to us. We're trying to put all those together and work out the circumstances as to what occurred.
Do you only have witnesses here? What happened? Have you actually had anyone see what happened?
At this stage, I'm not prepared to say what the specific witnesses have told us.
This is obviously potentially a very brutal crime. Would you say that's the case, or how?
Yeah, it's certainly a tragic set of circumstances. It appears as though we've got a taxi driver going about his lawful business, and for whatever reason, there's been some sort of confrontation. He's now deceased.
Is the person who crashed the taxi known to police?
I don't know the identity of that person.
How
Have you been
difficult?
able to contact the family?
I'm sorry?
Been able to contact the family of the taxi driver?
We're still working through that at the moment.
Is he local? Is he an Australian, or can you tell us?
At this stage, I'm not prepared to say.
Who found the body of the taxi driver?
The police were called to the vicinity here and spoke to the neighbours.
Who called police?
Neighbours in the area.
So neighbours discovered the body?
I believe so, yes.
Did they hear anything?
As I said before, I don't intend to go in what they've told us.
Given the nature of the second crash, how difficult do you think it would be to identify the person?
As I've said, I haven't been up to examine the scene, the deceased person up there. Until that's done, I can't tell you, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I can't hear.
Are you looking for a murderer?
At this stage, we're not looking for anyone else at the moment.
Are you asking for information from the public? What do you
Certainly,
think?
anyone that may have seen the incident here this morning, shortly before 2 o'clock, shortly before 3 o'clock, or seen the collision with the taxi up at the intersection of Viewmount Road, we're asking for anyone with information to ring up Crime Stoppers.
Was the taxi driving at high speed?
At this stage, until the Major Collision Investigation Group have finished their examination, I can't tell you the speed of the taxi.
Were there any other crimes reported beforehand? Any other drivers or anything? See anything or been affected?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Was it true the taxi picked up the man in the city, or was it moving here?
That's one of the avenues of inquiry we're following, yes.
How difficult will this case be for you to piece together and ultimately solve, do you think?
With assistance from the public and through forensic examination, we believe that we'll be able to solve the problem.
Should the public be afraid of anyone else that may be involved out there? Do you think everyone involved you have accounted for?
At this stage, I suspect that there's only the one person involved, but the further investigation will have to determine that.
Is there any chance of obtaining CCTV footage from inside the taxi? Would that have been totally destroyed?
We're still working through that with the taxi directorate.
that'll obviously be vital to your investigation if that hard drive can be recovered, won't it?
Yes, no doubt, that'll be an advantage.
Generally, can you speak about the safety it is for taxi drivers? Is it safe, or is this a concern that other taxi drivers should have when something like this could happen to them?
Well, this is an issue that we're working through with the Taxi Directorate. There are obviously the safety issues that are put into place, and we'll follow through those.